All I remember is falling. Rather, the sensation of falling. I wasn't aware of anything else. No sight, sound, smell, or even a thought of myself. Just a free fall through the void. I didn't even know myself, who or what I was. My mind is an endless gray fog within an empty void, clouding my brain and wafting through my body. No, that wasn't it. I wasn't aware I possessed a body. I was only a presence drifting through the clouded abyss, unaware of who I am or what I was. I had no identity, no name, no face, no body to speak of, and no gender to identify myself. I was only a semblance of sentient thought drifting through eternity, peacefully oblivious the passage of time and the gray, muted shadows enshrouding it. I was nothing but a semblance of something, until I crashed. A jarring impact tore throughout what I knew was my entire body. The pain brought back the semblance of a physical form. It started out a dull drumming, a small presence inside myself that didn't overwhelm me but couldn't be ignored. It wasn't enough to clear the haze until it grew into a dull prodding, poking me like a biting insect until I had to fully acknowledge it was there. Okay, that hurts. Where does it hurt? The more aware I became of it, the deeper it grew, until it throbbed mercilessly through my whole self, a knife digging into me until I could no longer feel as a passing cloud. The pain brought back the awareness of a physical state, and with it, the knowledge I wasn't a semblance of mere thought anymore. I was more than thought. I was made of something that was capable of extreme discomfort. It hurts. Why does it hurt? I shudder as the blackness gradually fades from my mind. Slowly but surely, I began awakening into consciousness. I now have a physical body and a mind controlling it. I had an identity, even if I didn't know who it was. I was an actual something, even though I was in a lot of hurt. I am myself, and I know what I am. I can feel what I am, even though it's not pleasant. I feel bones and muscle. I can hear my heart beating within my chest and the air gasping heavily through my lungs. Soon, I could feel and recognize the different parts of myself: head, toes, legs, arms, fingers, feet. This is what I am and I can do. Dear God, it hurts. My entire back feels like it's on fire. The burning coals buried between my shoulder blades. My first breath of life was a shuddering cry of pain. Everything feels quiet. I utter a drawn-out groan, curling myself up and clenching my fists. I feel the sharp pain in my back, savage, unbelievable. Only when I relax my muscles does the pain shrink into a hard throbbing. I open my eyes onto a dark field beneath the stars and the full moon. Light flickers in my sight of the surrounding grass, charred from wildfire and sparkling with ember. I look at myself and see I am a human woman, naked as a newborn and freaking chilled to my bones. At least my back doesn't feel like it's burning anymore, but I do feel a heavy throbbing between my shoulder blades. How did I get here? I knew nothing of who I am, where I came from, or what I was even doing naked in the middle of a burning field. But my mind wasn't a empty void. Was it a memory? I don't know, but in my mind was an image of a great forlorn castle, an ominous shadow against the landscape. Castle Dracula. I knew its name. That had to mean something. Maybe that's where I came from. A compulsion stirs in my brain, a deep instinct. I need to go there. I don't know why, but I must find it quickly. I shamble my arms and legs, trying to get used to their motion. The fact I had limbs I could move was new to me, but I couldn't rise myself up. Well, guess I'll have to learn to walk on my 2 feet if I'm going to get anywhere. The grass rustles and I shield my eyes from the light of 2 lamps. Dear Lord, an older voice gasped. What the hell is she doing out here? His female companion said. I moved my hand away. My eyes adjusted to the light when I saw an elderly couple holding lanterns and staring at me. Surprised to see me here as I was. Don't go near her. The man warned the woman who gently approached. "Ooh, relax, she's harmless." She snapped at him. "Darling, think for a moment." Her husband persisted. A fireball crashes in the middle of the field, and in the center of the burning impact is a seemingly defenseless naked woman. Too suspicious, if you ask me. It could be a new breed of night creatures. Does she look like a demon to you? You never know with these bastards. She could be appearing as human to fool you before slitting your throat. He pulled a knife out. Better not to take chances. I cried, surprised at my own voice and the fact that I could talk. I'm not a demon. At least I don't think I am. Whatever it is, I don't mean any harm. The shivering fear in my voice convinced them enough. Easy, my dear, you're safe, the woman reassured. I don't know how you ended up in this field, naked as a newborn babe, but I do know you're scared. Come, we'll take you home and get you dressed and fed. Maybe once you're settled, you can tell us what happened. Darling, you sure that's a good idea? The man asked, still hesitant. Sure in my bones. The woman draped her cloak over me. Here, let us help you up. I wobbled on my legs and stumbled. Good Lord, it's like you've never stood on your own 2 feet before. Here, 1 foot then the next, there you go. Instinct kicked in and I was up walking, covering myself with the cloak, gently guided by 2 old farmers. The ground was cold and wet beneath my feet, and my skin prickled goosebumps from the chilled air. Do you have a name, dear? The woman asked. I shook my head. I don't even know who I am or how I got here. Oh boy, amnesia. The man grumbled in sympathy. There'll be much to figure out when we get back home. There will indeed. The woman patted my shoulder. But we'll figure it out 1 step at a time. I hope so, I thought doubtfully, but I did know one thing for certain. The castle. I needed to find Castle Dracula. The old farming couple's cottage was small and surrounded by a meager cornfield. I couldn't see much of the field in the dark, but it was enough to provide food for the 2 of them. The inside of the cottage was small but warm. In the separate bedroom, the woman dressed me. At least these won't go to waste. She would have been happy to see them worn by an unfortunate. I wanted to ask who she was talking about, but I saw she was near tears. The woman gasped, taking several steps away and staring at my back. What's wrong? I asked her nervously. You've got scars on your back. She trembled, touching right between my shoulders. I flinched. A vision of fire and stars flashed before my eyes. My voice wavered, touching the points on my back. The skin felt thick and tender. I wonder how I got them. I'm wondering the same, the woman remarked, light-hearted. Once, I was in an old, worn dress. I sat with the old couple by the fireside. I wish I could tell you about myself, but I know as much as you do. I drank a cup of water. Could you at least tell me where I am? They were friendly to answer, saying I was in a place called Wallachia, a country in Eastern Europe. It was a place populated by humans, but plagued by vampires and night creatures. The whole world's plagued by hell beasts, the man grumbled. Ooh, and it's gotten worse since Dracula's death. Dracula? I sat up straight. Ah, your memory's coming back. He remarked. I guess, I mumbled. The name sounds familiar is all. Who was Dracula? The couple glanced at each other, surprised. Dracula was once the vampire lord of Wallachia. They recounted the brutal story of the vampire's tragedy, leaving me speechless. And now he's dead. Noted. Deader than a doornail. He nodded. Slain by his own son, I heard. No good. That's done us. With him gone, the other vampire lords are scrambling for the power he left behind, and not just them. I hear troubling news of a forge master amassing an army of the damned, and the Styrian vampire queen is plotting the conquest of humanity with a forge master of her own. Between them, these feral night creatures are burning down cities and decimating towns. The world's become a dangerous place. It's always been dangerous, his wife added. But more so now. She gave me an intrigued look. Your memory's gone, but you're not a lost soul. I see the look in your eyes. There's purpose within you. I think you're right, I said. I don't remember who I am or where I came from, but I know what I have to do and where I must go. When I woke up, I had a memory of a huge magical castle. Dracula's castle? I can't say why, but I have to find it. They stared at me with intense fear in their eyes. Why, in God's great name, do you want to go that forsaken place? The man gasped. Oh, I don't know. I shook my head. I just know it's where I'm supposed to be. Maybe there's something waiting for me there. The only thing waiting for you at Castle Dracula is death, the man warned. Dracula might be gone, but his son rules the castle now. Alucard, they call him, and he's just as cruel as his father. He staked people and demons at his front gate, and some claim he stalks the countryside at night as a swarm of bats, sucking the blood and life out of sleeping villagers. He jabbed a finger at me. Stay well away from that place. Whatever purpose it may hold, it's not worth your life. He's right. His wife agreed. You're better off forgetting that evil place. Perhaps you can start a new life here. We'd be willing to take you in. You guys are very kind, but I wouldn't want to burden you. I said, touched by human kindness. You're no burden. It'd be nice to have a set of young hands to help out, and good company, the man said. I smiled. I guess I could stay for a while and get my bearings. My first night in a bed was itchy and full of dreams. The image of the castle kept playing in my mind, along with a blinding light and a figure silhouetted against the castle walls. I grumbled, rubbing my eyes when I woke up later that morning. After breakfast, I decided to take a walk to collect my thoughts. Be careful, girl, the husband warned. Oh, there's been demon sightings in the area. Don't go far. I won't, I called back. I headed toward the field where I first awakened, the dry grass crunching beneath my sandaled feet, my thoughts swirling in my brain, trying to grasp a fading memory. Nothing but that stupid, evil vampire castle. Why do I remember this freaking vampire-riddled castle and nothing else? I rubbed my head. What importance did it have? Am I from there? Am I a freaking vampire? The sun on my skin made me laugh. No, don't be an idiot. I can't be a vampire because I'm not burning alive right now. The field was easy to spot. The grass is charred and ash puffed beneath my footsteps. It looks like a meteor hit. I wondered to myself, and where I sat, doubled over naked and pained the impact point. I walked to the very spot where I was found, burnt gray to the very earth. This just keeps getting weirder and weirder. I scratched my head, and I swear that staff wasn't here before. Laying in the exact spot where I woke up was a simple wooden staff. When I picked it up, a sense of familiarity crept through my fingers. This day just keeps getting stranger with every turn. I heard a blood-curdling scream. Shit. I ran toward the direction of the cottage, following the smoke rising from the trees. I held back a cry, seeing the cottage now in burned ruins. The kind farmer and his sweet-natured wife lay strewn, bloodied across the dirt, torn apart and gorged on by hideous jackal-like demons with black-scaled skin and burning red eyes. One of the beasts turns its head up and snarls, baring rows of teeth and prowling closer to me with its companion. I stepped back, holding the wooden staff in front of me in defense. It leapt forward. A blinding light from my staff vaporized them instantly and knocked the wind out of my feet. I crashed into the ground, blacking out. I grumbled when I came to, rubbing my throbbing forehead. It was eerily quiet, not even a trickle of the wind. I stood up, looking stunned at the destroyed cottage and its former inhabitants mauled and bloodied at my feet. After some moments, I took a shovel and buried them in their field, a single stake as their marker. Thank you for your kindness. I said, deadened. I'm sorry I couldn't return it. Once that morbid deed was done, I rummaged food, water, and supplies from the wreckage of their home, stuffing them in a pack around my shoulder and my newfound staff in my right hand. You're definitely worth keeping, I muttered, leaving the death and desolation behind. I see a road down, I murmured. All roads lead somewhere, Maybe I'll find a town and get directions. I'm on my own. I sighed, taking in the view and trying to make sense of it all. With nowhere to go but forward, I traveled down the hill and onto a worn dirt road with a magic staff in hand and a bag of supplies on my back. Nothing else I can do now but hit the road and ramble on.